Hi, and welcome to Cover Brand, where we cover all things branding, marketing, and advertising to help you understand what the hell branding is and how it works to grow your business. Hello, and welcome back to Cover Brand. I'm Ethan Decker. I'm your host, and today my guest is Andy Wilson. How you doing, Andy?
Great. Good to see you, Ethan.
Good to see you too.
With you?
Yeah, likewise. It's always fun to chat. We were talking a little bit ago about sales versus marketing because you're in sales, right?
Spent my life and career in sales. Like most salespeople, I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Yeah, these things happen to us.
Right.
Sometimes we choose sales. Sometimes sales is thrust upon us, right?
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
great career though. Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super glad you're out here in Colorado now.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Found my true home.
So we were talking about this divide, and you had a question about sales versus marketing, or sales versus brand, or something like that. What was your question?
Yeah. Yes. Largely what I've noticed in my career is this difficult dance between sales and marketing, where marketing has a certain thing they're trying to accomplish and sales has a certain thing they're trying to accomplish, and they're not necessarily completely aligned or fully understood by each other. So there's this dance that happens between sales and marketing, and the better that dance can be performed together, the better the outcome for sure. Yep.
Yeah, one of the first of all, this is a tale as old as time,
It
right?
is. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Um, don't get me starting to sing.
Right. Yep.
What is it? Beauty and the Beast? It's Beauty and the Beast, isn't it? Tale as old as time. Angela Bassett, Angela
Right.
Davis.
But
Um,
it's a common story. It's always sort of this challenge. Marketing is trying to accomplish something to build a brand and the brand awareness. Sales is trying to be responsive to customers and has a different demand and need sometimes. And how those two coexist together is critical. But there's often like, hey, marketing's not giving me the stuff I need, and marketing is saying sales isn't utilizing our brand effectively.
yeah.
Um, and so it's a constant challenge, and one that I just always see, but one that's really important to really work together to get right.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're exactly right. Here is a neat way to think about it that I've learned. And when it comes to sales organizations or sales folks who struggle with what's the point of all this? It's slowing me down. What's all this brand stuff? It
Mhm.
feels too mushy. I need to know my points of difference. I need to know my sales, my hard selling points. The A really neat concept is called your brand body language.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of sales folks know that when you show up to a meeting, you want to look the part. You want to look right. You want to dress appropriately for the occasion and make a good first impression.
Mhm.
Because a lot of sales is about that individual interaction, person to
Right.
person. And as a salesperson, I'm sure you know the importance of dressing the part, of making sure your appearance is right, of doing a little background research on your prospect.
They're coming
And
prepared.
yeah, coming prepared, and
Mhm.
then having good body language, because that first
Right.
impression is so important. Here, a classic one is if you're working in the Midwest and that's your beat and that's your territory, you need to know if someone's a Buckeyes fan,
Right.
right, or a Hawkeye fan.
Yeah.
And if you show up with the wrong colors or something like that, that can be a real problem.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
your body language is a real important thing that you know as a salesperson. Well, brand is your company's body language.
Mhm.
That's a really neat way to think about it.
Right. I love that.
And my shortcut for that is what's your brand body language?
Mhm.
Because you can have all these things you say about your brand and your company, but people are picking up on the nonverbal cues
Right.
of your brand
Mhm.
just as quickly as they're picking up on the nonverbal cues about you as a person.
Right. Yeah.
So if you have stuff in your teeth, or if you remember the days and your hair wasn't right, for
I don't
some
have
people that's not an issue for you anymore. Woohoo!
right.
You are
You
free.
know, a great example of this. You think I love this thinking.
Yeah.
I used to work for a company. It was in commercial office furniture manufacturer, and our brand slogan was "Furniture with Personality," which really wasn't about furniture. It was about the people that represented the brand and made the furniture and sold the furniture. But it was a fantastic thing, that way that you're describing this, because it completely resonated with our entire organization, our entire sales team.
Yeah.
It was them that was out in the marketplace being the furniture's personality. The furniture
Yes.
was just the thing that they were carrying with them to sell, right?
Yes.
And it was embraced, it was lived, it was breathed, and we had this great little shtick with all the stuff we did associated with that. So that's a good example of,
Yep.
we got it right, and everybody bought into that, and it was like, yes, I'm furnished with personality, and it's
Yeah.
me. It's my
Yeah.
own individuality that highlights that, as the representative or the whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good sort of example that that carried our body language, because it's a weird slogan for office furniture manufacturer, right?
Correct. Correct.
Um, but it was one that was totally embraced by the market too,
Yeah.
because it allowed us to be ourselves and bring our personality to work.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and it's extra hard if you're in an industry that is technical
right.
or dry or B2B. People
Yeah.
think if you're B2B, you've got to be about facts and knowledge
Yeah.
but no, all B2B brands, all brands
Right.
have a body language and
Mhm.
we all read it right away. We all get a visceral feel, an intuitive understanding,
Yeah.
which we can train and we can hone and we can learn and
Right.
build it. But nonetheless, the brand body language is really important because it, just like normal body language, speaks volumes that the words don't
Yes.
cover, and words can't always cover up,
Yeah.
right?
Do you Can you think of other examples of what you're referring to, Ethan? I don't want to put you in the spot here. I'm just sort of curious.
Oh, no,
Uh,
absolutely. So again, from a sales perspective, thinking about the brand, all of that stuff like color
mhm,
and mascots and logos,
mhm,
all of those things exude something. And that's why in a tightly run company, people show up wearing the right corporate gear. They
right.
have the right corporate trucks if
Mhm.
you're shipping things around the country.
And that's what
Even
I was thinking, is like a Nike. Like
yeah.
it's not really shoes, it's something more. I got to
Yes.
think more broadly, like that's when it comes to my mind, right? It's like, just do it. Like all their stuff is not really about the shoes. It's about something
It's about
bigger.
victory.
Yeah.
It's about challenge, it's about being
Right.
competitive, being on offense, as they like to say, always be on
Yeah.
offense.
Or
Yeah,
Apple is another one that comes to mind, right? Like they
yep,
had commercials that were largely something much broader than the product itself.
yep, yep.
So it has a certain body language that's much bigger than the laptop that you purchase. you know
Correct,
yeah.
correct. Yeah, and so as a salesperson, all of that brand stuff is the body language
Right.
of your whole company, and
Mhm.
you should embrace it
Yeah.
because the nonverbal matters. Just like if you're talking to a human and they say something that doesn't jive with how they behave,
Mhm. Right.
like when you get a sense that they're lying or when they think they're funny and they're really not, and there's a big gap between them saying things which they think are funny and
Right.
then the truth of the situation, their body language, you
Yep.
instantly pick up on their body
Michael
language.
Scott's a perfect example of that.
Michael Scott, yes, 100%. The character from The Office,
Right.
where he says one thing and his body language says the exact opposite.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
in that situation, I love that as an example because when the words don't match the body language, what do you trust?
The body language.
The
And
100%.
everybody knows too.
Right, right. If someone's lying or if someone is saying they're confident, but they're exuding anxiety,
Right.
you trust their body language and you ignore what they say.
100%.
So
Yeah.
a brand is a lot like that. So
Yeah.
you as a salesperson might be saying this stuff, but your brand's body language, the brand as body language is what people will hone in on,
Right.
notice, and then trust above and beyond your words,
Mhm.
which
Uh,
is why it's important for those things to
yeah.
mesh.
Yeah. It's a great way to recognize how important that synergy is,
Yeah.
because if sales is going to marketplace without the body language of what's being said, it's gonna be a more difficult sell, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Without
and the
the
classic
line, it's like
yeah.
magic. That's what we're all trying to get to.
Yeah,
you know?
when it aligns, it's in sync, it's
Yep,
fluid, it's easy. The classic other way we talk about the mismatch is putting lipstick on a pig,
right. Yeah,
right? And as a salesperson, you go out there and you're trying to put lipstick on this pig, everyone sees it's a pig. So
right.
aligning
Yeah.
sales and marketing is important because marketing is where you craft your
Mhm.
body language as an
Right.
organization.
Yep.
And so you want to work tightly with marketing because that notion of the brand in all of its touch points, not just the logo and the colors and the fonts, but
Mhm.
everything. It's the fleet, it's the truck, it's the
Right.
branded apparel,
Mhm.
it's the merch and the tchotch that you give people. If you have stores and facilities, it's the cleanliness of the floor.
Mhm.
It's the light fixtures. It's the toilet paper.
Right.
If you're a
Yep.
premium brand and you don't have premium toilet paper, that's that's your body language showing,
Right. Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, as a sales team, you would like sales and marketing to be interconnected and for sales to embrace the goals and the plans of marketing for the
Mhm.
body language that you desire your brand to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about this, Ethan, 'cause I'm curious about this.
Uh-huh.
What if marketing is trying to create a body language that sales isn't buying?
Mm. Those
Like,
are conversations you should have in the dressing room,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
viable, it's important. Maybe sales
Yeah.
has really important points. Sales almost always does. That these things might not work in the market, or these things might not be successful, or these things are
Right.
getting in our way. Marketing has to deal with that and address that and absorb that, but have those conversations in the dressing room so
Yep.
that you can be on the same page when you go out into the world.
And certainly critical that this is backed up by actual data, not
Yep.
just salespeople's, opinions, but actual, okay, you all are saying this. Let's go do some research and understand this more clearly. You know,
Yeah. Well,
having
that
some
applies to
brain
marketing too.
exactly.
Yep.
Let me ask you this then too, because I think this is an interesting one as well. What if the company is trying to sort of rebrand their body language?
Mhm. Mhm. That
Okay.
is th yeah, that's a great point because
Yeah.
rebranding, sadly, is usually an exercise in just cosmetics.
Hmm.
We've got a new logo and we've
Hmm.
chosen a slightly different font. It used to be a serif font and now it's another serif font,
Yeah.
something like that. Rebranding is usually a shallow exercise when it should be a deep exercise.
Yeah.
It should
Agree.
be about really how you show up. What is your product? What
Hmm.
is your offering? And then what are all of those elements that create the brand body language, the body language for the company?
Right.
And sales and marketing should be involved in that and should both get behind it once you decide what is our new brand.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you seen? I'm just curious. I don't know this.
Mhm.
I would assume that most companies try to brand up.
Hmm.
Is that fair? Do you think?
You know,
I
that's
don't
interesting.
know.
That's a topic for another time,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's
Yeah.
great. It's a great question. The
Yeah.
short answer is it's incredibly hard to move up market.
Okay.
A
Interesting.
great example is if you're Honda and you
Hmm.
want to sell a premium car or a luxury car, you can't do it in the Honda brand. So you
Right.
create
Acura.
Acura.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones. So that we will absolutely cover that next time we
Interesting.
can talk.
Interesting
Um,
thought. Yeah.
but I think a lot of companies try and rebrand when they just want to be more fresh and new.
Right. Yeah.
And that is about changing your clothes so you're up to date, so your
Mm-hmm.
pants are the right tightness, so to speak, as a
Right.
company.
Yeah.
And it is important to stay fresh and look modern and still be yourself.
Right.
But yeah, as a sales force integrating with the marketing team, you want to all have the same body language for your
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great way to think about it. That's really helpful. And totally have experienced it when the body language is not right, and when the body language is completely in sync collectively, and the difference that makes in the feel that provides the whole organization is really, really different. But it's just one
Yeah.
of excitement, of belief in what's being done. So I just love that because
Yeah.
when that's not there, you all see the body language, the discomfort, the awkwardness, the Michael Scott's moments.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
true. It's
Yeah.
a great, and it simplifies it.
Yeah, and marketing does a disservice to sales if they don't incorporate sales in that process of
Right.
developing and designing the brand.
Yeah. Right.
Marketing has to have sales at the table, and it's a shame that a lot of agencies, ad agencies, branding agencies that do some of this work, they're not in touch with the sales team.
Right.
And that's bad. That's on them. The
Yep.
shame on them for that, for not incorporating sales when they figure out what their brand should be.
Right. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, good food for thought though. I love that. I think it really simplifies even thinking about the process. Hey, does this
Yeah.
body language feel right for us? Like literally that question is filled with an awful lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's really simple, a really simple question to think about.
I love it because it's intuitive. We all
It is.
understand body language.
Yeah.
And so brand as your body language for your company,
Yeah.
it just cuts through a lot of all the corporate jargon.
It does.
Yeah.
And it keeps you from going down side roads that companies like to do because they're always trying to think of new things,
Yeah.
and that's not in alignment with our body language. It is always a great centering space, way to think about it. I love it. It's great way to think about it. Never
Great.
heard that way of thinking about it before. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the chat.
You bet, man.
Yeah.
Great to catch up with you and appreciate the time.
100%. I'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, Ethan.
All right. Cheers.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the podcast. And if you want to learn more about brand science, head on over to appliedbrandscience.com. Also, if you got something out of this episode, think of one person who might also get something out of it and send it to them as a way of saying, hey, thinking of you.